Hi, everyone. It's DeTracy. I'm seeing that it's taking a little time to actually get started tonight, so I hope you didn't have any trouble connecting. But I did have some problems on my end, so welcome everyone to tonight's session of the Midnight Prayer and some dream incubation. And I've got some special things for you tonight, so I hope you'll enjoy it, and I hope you're with me. And we'll be able to explore a little bit about Egyptian dreaming. And for tonight, I'd like to begin with Lady Lorian's honoring for goddesses to bring dreams, because this is a way of honoring the directions and bringing in the benevolent protective forces of the goddesses from all the different directions. To the east, may we ask the goddess Ma'at to bring us dreams that will inspire us and bring new life into our waking hours. To the south, may we ask the goddess Sekhmet to bring us dreams that will enhance our passions for love and creativity in our waking hours. To the west, may we ask the goddess Hathor to bring us dreams that will give us the wonders of intuition and divine beauty in our waking hours. To the west, to the north, may we ask the goddess Isis to bring us dreams that will invoke magic that will create everything we would wish in our waking hours. We might be surprised to be associating the goddess Isis with the direction of north, but if you look at a map of ancient Egypt, you see that the Delta region is in fact in the north, and a very old tale suggests that the goddess Isis was born in the regions that are always moist in the Delta, probably near a site called Sebenitos. So she has a long association with that region of Egypt, which was in fact to them the far north of their land. So associating Isis with the direction of north makes perfect sense if you look at the actual map of the terrain that we are talking about. So goddess bless everyone as we look into these dreams. And now we'll also do the midnight song. It is midnight, time to go to bed and dream. Dreams are never what they seem. You must dwell on what they mean. It is midnight, when you wake up at sunrise, take the time to analyze, for your dreams are very wise. It is midnight, it is midnight, it is midnight. And here is a special prayer for dreaming. And this again is from the materials put together by Lady Lorian Vignier when she was creating a Temple of Isis dream incubation rite, which she held here in the Grand Temple with cots laid out in a circle for everyone participating, and all slept in the temple that night as they would have in the ancient temples. And we'll be talking a little bit more about that a little later. And here's the prayer for dreaming that she used in that rite. Honor to you, Isis, the keeper of the sacred portals of the great dream temples, the sanctuaries of revelation and inspiration. Fill my spirit with strength. Honor to you, Isis, protectress of your disciples in the dream temples of vision and healing. Fill my spirit with compassion. Honor to you, Isis, the oracle of revelation in the innermost part of my heart. the greatest one of powerful pronouncements. Fill my spirit with divine wisdom. Honor to you, Isis, guardian of sleep, goddess of dreams, bringer of visions. Awaken me in the dreams of the past and bring them to the present that I may utilize them in the future. I was looking through some of my dream documents earlier, and at one point I began work on a book of Egyptian dreaming. And this is not exactly a guided meditation, but it certainly is a detailed description of what I think the ancient dream temples may have had to offer. And I'd like to read it to you this evening. It's several pages, so it's a little long. So get comfortable, maybe pick up that cup of chamomile tea or something else that is soothing, and let's listen to my interpretation of the ancient dream temples. Come with me down the Nile. Our golden proud boat glides on the waters, which are dark with the silt of the full flood. We draw up to an ornate quay where even the mooring post is in the form of the goddess Isis, lady of the moon and of dreams. Gathering our clothes of fine white linen so that we can step off the boat and onto the dock, we look ahead at the long avenue of sphinxes marking and guarding the sacred way leading to the high pylon gates of the temple. The sunlight is still bright, though Ra has begun his descent toward twilight. A pair of sacred servants, one male, one female, have come to greet us. The man's head is shining, shaved bald every day for purity. The woman wears a beautiful wig into which beads of gold and precious stones have been woven. Both wear the fine white linen, which is what we have been instructed to wear as well. We look for now as if we are all priests and priestesses, but we know that we have come to the temple as supplicants in search of sacred dreams to guide our lives. Some are asking for healing, others for knowledge, others for predictions. A pious few just want the communion of the gods or goddesses. We walk up the sacred pathway and through the first pylon gate into the sacred enclosure protected by a high mud brick wall which has been painted with religious scenes. The priest and priestess talk casually with us until we reach the gateway. Then they become much more serious. So do we. We can feel the power of the temple pressing against us as we pass through the doorway, like walking through a particularly strong spider web. We are taken to the sacred pool, where we are instructed to wash ourselves, even to rinsing our mouths out with natron, an odd salt-like substance which the temples use for purification, but which we also know is used in mummification. We wash our hands and feet, and the priest and priestess look us over, satisfied by at least our attempt to be pure. Then we are led to another building in the temple complex. Each of us is assigned a tiny windowless room with a couch in it. What little we've brought with us is stored there. We keep with us our offerings, which we give to the servants of the goddess. Then each of us meets separately with a priest or priestess, telling our innermost desires for the sacred sleep we are here to experience. Our next stop is the dining hall, where we eat a carefully prescribed meal. The food is delicious, but different in spice and flavors than we are used to. Each dish is designed with the wisdom of the priests, who know the effects of every bit of food. Pleasantly full, we listen to a program of sacred music, and each of us receives a cup of wine, again unlike anything we've ever experienced in the outside world. We sit back, relaxed, The music itself seems to ring through our bones. Then one by one, a priest or priestess comes to each of us and takes us from the dining hall back to the building with the sleeping benches. We ready ourselves for bed, and then the priest or priestess returns. We are feeling very sleepy already and lie down on the couches. Our limbs are so heavy that the priest or priestess needs to arrange them in the prescribed pattern for us, like a mummy being prepared for wrapping. A special lamp is lit with an unusual smelling oil that creates a soft, strange luminance, but we are scarcely aware of it, except for the flickering shadows grow more vivid. We hear words in the air around us, smell incense, for a few moments watch random images playing out on the inside of our eyelids, and then, without realizing the moment, we are fast asleep. Most of us sleep soundly, though a nightmare may require an invocation to Isis and the wiping of the forehead with a beer-soaked sponge of bread to chase away all traces of the dream and prevent its events from ever occurring. But good and bad, the dreams come to all of us, without exception. In the morning, the priest or priestess is sitting beside us. "Tell me your dream," we are asked, and we do, as the sacred servant beside us writes it down with a brush on a sheet of papyrus. A question or two is asked to define a detail or clarify a sequence of events. Under questioning, more and more the dream comes back until it is as vivid as it was to experience it. The priest or priestess gives us a drink of fresh water, and we get up, following into the sunlight, which is amazingly bright. We wash ourselves again. Some of our party from the previous night are not present, and we suspect that they have received instructions requiring them to undergo some special healing procedure, or perhaps their dream is so complex and meaningful that a senior priest or priestess must be summoned to interpret it. From deep within the temple comes the faint sound of chanting, part of the morning rite, which is performed by the highest clergy and some assistants. It is not open to those not ordained, but we feel blessed just hearing the distant sound. The universe is operating as it should. Hail Pharaoh, the son of Ra, who brings the blessings unceasingly onto our land of Tamara. The priests and priestesses are all mere substitutes for the Pharaoh himself or herself performing these rites. Though divine, he can only be in one place at a time, and all the divinities in all the temples of Egypt must be awakened with special care and ceremony. Nearby us, a few children pause to play a game by the sacred pool. They are on their way to study in the temple, to learn the gentle life of a scribe. But now they don't act as if they want a gentle life. One horse-locked child nearly ends up in the sacred pool, and another is irritated because he has dropped his scribe's palette during a scuffle and broken a reed brush. A teacher priest sternly gathers the children together, apologizes to us seekers for the disturbance, and they meekly follow him to a hall set aside for study and instruction, the house of life. One by one, we are called forth again, this time to hear the meaning of the night's dreaming. Nothing seems to be beyond the knowledge of the temple servitors. All receive answers, and it seems as if everyone has dreamed, and dreamed well. After the midday meal, most of us prepare to return home. A few have decided to stay on for a time for healing or retreat. In the afternoon, we are led from the temple and get back on the boat which has returned for us, silently gliding over the water. However we arrived, we leave subtly, or not so subtly, changed, and in still greater awe of the mysteries of the temples and the dream skills of the priests and priestesses. So I hope you've enjoyed that little look at what I think approximately happened in the dream incubation ceremonies and rites at the major temples that practiced this particular way of communion with the gods and goddesses. Isis was especially associated with dreams, and there is mention of how after his death Osiris would come to her in sleep, in dreams, and be with her, and also would come and train his son Horus in the arts of protection and defense. So although he was far away and had decided to stay on as the lord of the underworld or the other world or the nether world, he was still in contact with his beloved Isis and their dear son. So that's what I have to offer for you tonight in our quest for meaningful dreams. I hope this helps you find your dream path into the night, and that it will give you something to consider as you awake in the morning and look at your experiences that you may have had during the night's dreaming. So now I guess it is time to say good night to our goddess with the Good Night Goddess song. Good night, goddess of the night. Good night, goddess of starlight. Good night, goddess, furl your wings. Good night, goddess of all things. Good night, Isis, hold me tight. Good night, goddess of starlight. Good night to everyone. I hope you have a sweet sleep and that you'll join me here again, and that your dreams will be fascinating and inspiring and reassuring and give you great insights on how your life and your day to come should unfold. Goddess bless you all. Sleep sweet. Good night.